Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We don't know how many people are here or anything, but we're going to give this a try. I see showing that there's 0 people watching, so we're just going to hang out a bit and see who joins.
And I'm trying to check the stream over here. Let's see. Give us like a whoop whoop hands icon if you're here.
Live in 2 minutes.
I think mine's frozen.
Can you refresh your page?
It's stuck.
Okay. So anyways, while
technology.
Liv is trying to figure that out, I'm going to go and see on here. Yep, we're all good. We're live.
Yay. We're just babbling.
We are just figuring this out. I think people are able to hear us now. If you can't hear us, please let us know.
I see Steven there. Hi. You see us. Yay. Thank you.
Can you hear us, Steven? External test. It sounds like it's working. Here we go. There we go. So anyways, welcome everybody. We only have like a few of you joining now, but hopefully we'll have more people joining as we go on throughout the stream. We're just going to have fun today. We're going to talk about like what's going on with us. We're going to, if you have any questions about the Mach-E, we are going to like cover those as well. We have a giveaway. We'll talk about some Ford news or Mach-E news. If you guys have any questions, feel free to, fire away. Or if you have anything that you want us to cover, any news or anything like that, that would be fantastic. If this goes well, what we'll do is we'll host more of these in the future, maybe on a monthly basis or something like that. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully have some guests that we can invite on, do some interviews, and just sort of see how it goes.
And yeah, that would be awesome, Steven. Thank you. If you think it's
drop a
appropriate
link
for your group to come hang out with us.
So yeah, Steven has a group in Maine that's an EV focus group. So actually, I don't know if it'll let us. I'll bring it up real quick. Let me go. Go over here. I got a screen I can share, but I'll see if I can bring it up real quick. But yeah, last week we crossed the 1-year threshold for having our Mach-E, and it's been great. We've been very happy with it. Let me see if I can find Steven's group real quick.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about 1 year of ownership, feel free to let us know. And if you have input as well on your experiences, then please share them.
So let me go over here. Try this. We're learning on this. So there's Steven's page, Electric Solar for Bucksport, Maine. Desperately trying to grow that and spread the word. You don't have to be in Maine. We're out in Colorado, but we're a member of the group. And Steven shares some really good information on there. So if you are on Facebook, check that out, search for it. I will put a link in the description later so that everybody can find that. But yeah, check that out. And where am I at? I got to find my cursor. We'll go back over here. Yeah, we released our 1-year review video. We bought it March 2nd of 2021. So it's been a weird year because of COVID. We had the accident in the Mach-E, which was traumatic and dramatic for us, but it's all good now. We're planning lots of stuff this spring. We want to go on some more road trips, and we may be moving, so that's up in the air. That may put a cramp on some things. But if we are going to move, we want to do a lot of exploring around Colorado. So if there's any favorite spots in Colorado that you want us to check out, let us know.
And Lord Frag, we're actually going to cover a little bit on the new Model E division in a little bit.
Yeah, there's not much about that, but we'll get into that in a minute. Yeah, and we're So yeah, we're looking at places to explore around Colorado. Like we'll probably go up toward Estes Park again,
Sand
South
dunes.
Sand Dunes National Park, Western Colorado, a lot of the mountains. But of course, we're in Colorado, so we have to wait until there's good weather before we can do that. And we're actually getting ready to go on a trip um, in the next few weeks to Nisna, South Africa. If you don't know where that's at, I'll bring up a little map here. It's the red, you know, icon here. It's pretty far away. Liv's grand turned 100, and we're going to go over there and help her celebrate that. But it's sort of crazy, like how far away we're going to be going. We're going for 2 weeks. It'll be a lot of fun. It's a very small town where we're going. As you can see, we're zooming in and zooming in.
And I'm from where the stars are. So.
She's from over here in Cape Town. But we're not going to visit Cape Town. We're just basically going to visit her grandmother. We're trying to reach out to some EV people over in South Africa. And our idea is like we want to check out and see what the charging situation is like, how many EVs are being sold, and we'll do a video on all of that because I think it's interesting. It's one thing to look at charging like in Europe, charging in the US and EVs, but then when you start looking at like how does that translate when you go to a place like South Africa, I saw one thing. They said they have more EVs or more charging stations per EV than any other country, but that's because they sold like 200 EVs last year. So they actually have a few charging stations that we'll try to take a look at. But and we're going to be posting from there. So we won't be doing videos, but if you are interested in following along with this, of course, we are. You could go to Mach-E Vlog /links and follow us on social media. We are on Twitter and Instagram, so we'll be posting stuff on there as we find charging stations and things like that. And and then of course when we come back, we'll hopefully have a couple of cool videos. We're going to have a couple of videos that we're going to release over the next couple of weeks while we're gone. We'll see how that goes. We got to do a lot of editing this week and packing, and we still have our normal jobs Monday through Thursday. But we leave Friday morning, and then we get there Sunday afternoon, and it's a lot of flying, a little bit of driving.
So. Yeah, it's actually like almost a 3-day journey just to get there because she doesn't live in a major city. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Fun and interesting. Steven, I heard someone lifted a Mach-E. That would be cool to see.
To see it go off road.
Yeah.
First things first, just because I know some people are interested in our last video and on the accessories, not last video, I guess it's been a couple of weeks now. We had an extra pet seat cover that we have decided to give away. And we used to be able to use a pet seat cover, but it was a month ago our dog passed away, so we don't have a need for it now. So we're going to give that away. And just like we did last time, if you commented on that video with a puppy icon, we then entered your name into the contest here. We didn't get as many people interested in this one. But here it is. We're ready to go. These are the, 5 names. So not many people. Drum roll. We'll just go ahead and click and spin and we'll get past this. There we go. Last time I think we had about a dozen people.
Okay.
Prakash.
Yay! Congratulations. We will contact you.
So we'll leave we'll respond to his comment or her comment and their comment. And if we don't reach out to them, we'll spin again and we'll pick somebody else. But congratulations. And as we get more stuff, we will give it away if we don't have any need for it. So thanks for playing, and stay tuned for more things that we can give away.
Yay.
So I should have just left it up because then we can talk about if you aren't aware, Ford is sort of creating a new division within a division. So the Ford Motor Company is sort of going to split their car lines. So there's going to be Ford Blue and Ford Model E, which Model E goes back to the early 1900s Model E that Ford produced. But the Ford Blue is going to be their traditional gas-powered vehicles, diesel-powered vehicles that they've had for years and years and years. The Ford Model E is going to be a division that's focused on electric vehicles only, and that's not going to include hybrids. It's going to be fully electric vehicles. So right now it'll be the Mach-E, the E-Transit, and F-150 Lightning, and then of course any new vehicles that come out that are electric. Watch out for your clicking; it can be heard. So it encompasses a lot. It's going to be their EV line. Part of the reason that they did this, and you can find this presentation, I'll put a link to it in the description, but it's on the Ford Media website. But they sort of describe what they're going, how they're going to divide the company up and what it means. And this is, like a slide with all of their like divisions. Ford Pro is for like their fleet customers. There's Ford Credit. So there's a lot of stuff going on with the different divisions, but going back up to Ford Model E, they want to be able to act like a startup, design vehicles quickly, hire talent that is focused on creating like a connected environment for their cars. And one of the things that I think we're all interested in is like, how is this going to affect dealer sales? Are they going to switch to a direct to customer sale platform? And they still have legal hurdles on how to be able to do that. And that's both state laws as well as their dealership agreements. But it sounds like what Jim Farley wants to do is work with the dealers and convince them that they should be open to selling EVs and from Ford Model E, and those will be ordered online and delivered to the dealer. And they're trying to figure out a way to either highly encourage or do something to make sure that those dealers are not marking them up on those online orders. And it's still a bit of a tricky thing. Jim Farley, of course, they haven't talked to all the dealers because this is sort of a secret up until last week. But what they're trying to do is he said over the next few months, they're going to start reaching out to dealers. And one of the things they talked about was, first of all, not letting dealers gouge customers, but also try to encourage them to specialize. So you may have some EV specialist dealers. You may have some rural dealers that are focused more on the Ford Blue stuff with heavy duty trucks and whatnot. So he was talking about specializing, but also, again, not having these tremendous markups that we've seen. And by the way, like I did a survey of just over 300 Mach-E owners. I think it was 47% paid under MSRP, 47% paid MSRP, and then about 6% paid over MSRP. Not a single person that I found that ordered online and waited for the delivery paid anything over MSRP. They paid what they saw online or less by using X-Plan or other incentives. So a lot of those markups are, as you guys know, are on the canceled orders. So it's not really a widespread thing, but right now it's hard to find anything under MSRP from any dealer. And with that being said, if you guys haven't been to the Mach-E ordering page lately, you'll notice the absence of the California Route 1 and the premium. That isn't a permanent change. That's just for right now. They can't produce enough to meet demand, and they've already have enough orders for the rest of 2022 of the premiums. So they're not taking any more orders of the premium or the California Route 1 right now. That could change. Of course, Ford's not going to commit one way or the other, but if they get toward the end of the year, that may change. But I think what they're trying to avoid is getting until October or something like that, and they haven't produced the premium that somebody ordered, and then wanting to switch over to the new model year, but they still have these old orders. So my guess is that they're just trying to make sure all the orders that they got, they can fulfill, and then they can switch over to the new model year when they want. And of course, that's when you have the lead times of 6 months, we're already in March, so you're talking about a premium delivery would be September if you took them now anyway. So, but that's why that is. It's sort of curious. I'm interested to see like how many people will go with a select, or will they wait until 2023 for the premiums and Route Ones to become available? So, and what else? You guys have any questions for us? Feel free to drop them in. I sent out a email news update. If you go to MachE Vlog or mach-e.org and sign up for the newsletter, I think that was the first update that I sent in about 8 months.
Yeah, probably.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about that Liv can talk about, this is a lot of her input here, and that's EV Explored. So you want to talk about EV Explored?
Yeah, I mean, we want to switch to an all EV family. You guys probably know I have a horrible old gas car, and we're not in a rush. We're patient, but we want to find something affordable and compatible with the Mach-E as a second vehicle. So that's part of the explored part. And also, we really want to explore the affordable EV industry and area. Also, on EV Explored, we're going to be developing a knowledge base where we just keep things very simple. Trying to make this accessible, because I think it can be really daunting switching to an electric vehicle. There's a ton about it that's daunting, even just beyond terminology on its own. So this is something that we're building now, and it's very much bare bones at the moment, but we'd like this to be a resource so that if you have any questions and you want a simple answer, you can go there. Or even if you just want to send people, because sometimes I feel like when you're explaining things to people, they'll have a lot of questions and you have to answer the same things over and over again. So just send them here. Is DC fast charging bad?
And if you have questions, for the EV knowledge base, let us know. You can leave a comment. Actually, I'll put a form on EV Explorer, because we're going to answer questions that we think of, but you guys might have some different ideas and different questions. So.
And also on top of that, on the EV Explored YouTube channel, we are going to be sort of, we'll call it auditioning, but just investigating more affordable EVs. And on our Mach-E channel, we want to show these EVs as an example with the Mach-E, or in comparison to, or something that you can have as well as the Mach-E. But on EV Explored, we're going to keep it very simple, and here's each electric vehicle and what their stats are, and kind of unrelated to the Mach-E. So clearly we haven't done much yet, but that's the goals down the road.
Yeah, and I think this might be a place where we put some of the South Africa videos exploring the world and how they're adapting to EVs, and maybe that'll give us an excuse to go to Europe sometime and check it out over there. Kyle Connor with Out of Spec has done one Europe trip and is about to do another. Made us very envious. So.
And Stephen, I agree. The Nissan Leaf is an awesome vehicle. Did you just almost hide that by mistake?
No. I gotta show it before I can.
Okay. Yeah, it's an awesome vehicle. For me personally, because I drive with my left leg, I have found that the 2017 and older Nissan Leafs have a better cabin suited to my odd specifications. But all of them are really good EVs, and I think the 2023 is going to be switching from CHAdeMO, right?
Yeah, and
finally,
that'd be nice. And I'm surprised nobody's made a CHAdeMO to CCS adapter, because there's going to be a lot of Nissan Leaf people that will want one of those adapters coming up. Yeah. Because I think EVgo and others have announced that they aren't going to abandon CHAdeMO, but they're just not going to put any new stations with CHAdeMO in. So.
We have a charging video coming out, and that was really fun. We drove around Colorado and tried out a bunch of different chargers, and we're trying to document each charger and what type of connections there are. So it is interesting to see how unsupported CHAdeMO is even now in comparison to CCS.
Yeah, and I've noticed on PlugShare that Electrify America will basically have 4 stalls with two plugs on each, and a lot of times if you go and look, it'll have a note in there. If it's not currently broken, it has been recently broken, the CHAdeMO charger. So I would be very worried about that in the future for a Nissan Leaf, if that was my only way. Now, of course, if we are just going to use it around town, who cares? Then
if you have the ability to charge at home and you have your CHAdeMO at home and you're not planning on road tripping,
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And that's sort of what we've been looking at for a second EV is something that would be even 100 miles of range would be fine. Be nice to have something a little bit higher. We have some cold weather here that can really put a damper on range. Um,
I
but
quite like the BMW i3.
yeah, that'd be pretty nice. And they're just going to stop making this. I think the Chevy
Yeah.
Bolt would be great, and we were sort of getting excited about that and considering that. Costco had some like deals with GM to do some very cheap leases on the Bolt, but then of course they've had the battery issues and those deals went away. Um,
But our friends at Everyday EV, I think they've got a video coming out on the Bolt buyback process that they've
yeah,
gone through. So it'll be interesting to see as more used Bolts with fixed batteries pop back into the
right.
market.
There's a guy. We're in the Drive Electric Colorado group, and we had our coaches meeting a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy on there that had a Chevy Bolt with 75,000 miles, I think it was, and he just had his battery replaced. So for him, he's like, it was didn't have much battery degradation, but now he has a brand new battery at 75,000 miles. So rather than looking at selling his, he's thinking like now I can, have it maybe to 200,000 miles, which is really cool, really really cool.
Yeah.
And GM, I mean, I feel like they didn't do the best job of communicating to people. They were doing the typical corporate thing, blaming the battery manufacturer. The battery manufacturer was blaming them, which was LG Chem, which is the same manufacturer for like the Taycan and the Mach-E. But long story short, it's you buy a car from Chevy, you don't care. Like you don't care if it's who it is. You just want the car to work. And Chevy didn't do a good job of getting the car working or communicating what was going on, and they took a long time to do the buybacks, took a long time to get the battery swap, which is understandable, but you got to let people know what's going on. And I think they could have done something compensation wise to help out people that all of a sudden lost range as well as the ability to park in a garage, which I'm sure made life difficult for many of those owners. So
Yeah, if we had to do that, that could have been catastrophic if we had a Bolt. And Steven says he's been helping switch people to electric bikes. I actually have an electric assist trike that we need to take
yeah.
out in the Mach-E and do a little drive, maybe do a road trip.
You guys have seen it if you watched our Mach-E trunk test about a year ago. We put it in the back and it fit barely. It's a big bike. It can fold, but it's a pain to fold it, and you put a
Yeah.
lot of stress on the chain of the bike when you fold it. But yeah, I think that's going to be exciting to see more and more electric bikes. It's funny, like when we got the electric assist for your bike, there weren't many people that even knew what that was. There weren't many people that, well, there's a lot of criticism of people riding electric assist or electric bikes. They thought it was number one, people just going to be zipping around at 30 miles an hour on
Which, by the
trails.
way, does limit the speed
Yeah, hers is
at
speed
20.
limited. It's like 22, I think, but it's definitely fast enough.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
The speed limit on the trails is 15, but um, I'm trying to remember the name because we found that other three-wheeled bike company. It was I can't remember, but we still want to go out to Eugene, Oregon and visit Archimoto and check out their offering. I don't know how you would handle a vehicle like that in the cold weather, but
yeah,
somewhere where it rains, that'd be okay.
yeah. By the way, we're here in Colorado and have about 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it's
I think it's
snowing
more.
off and on. And it's
Yeah.
yeah. So we're hiding out today. That's one of the reasons why we decided to do the live stream. Is like, well, we're not going to go out this weekend that much, so we'll just stay out here and or stay in here and
And bundle.
wait until we get some warmer weather, which is one of the reasons why we're looking at moving is we don't want to deal with the snow. So we're
Mhm.
going to look at that this year as a possible option.
But many people seem to enjoy the Mach-E in the snow. I know some people have questions about how it performs and stuff. Mostly, we haven't taken out in the snow. If you watched our 1 year review, one of the big things, at least for me, was that I'm like too scared to damage it or to mess it up or anything. And snow can really, really affect that. Um, but it is very comfortable. Like we have enjoyed taking it out in the cold weather and
Yeah.
the heated seats.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Cold is nice with heated seats.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephen, electric assist, I think that's the huge thing that I see, whether it's a upright bike or a recumbent, however you know want to get around. The electric assist is huge. I think for people with some type of mobility issue, whether it's through age or disease or
Injury.
limb loss or whatever, and I think that's a really encouraging thing that first of all, it's more available and more accepted. There was a lot of pushback for like banning them from national parks. I think the national parks recognize this is a great way, like in Arches National Park, for example, there's a lot of traffic. And if you can rent out bikes, it's not like a hard ride. It's a little bit hilly and stuff in there. But if you have an electric assist, now you've opened it up to a far wider range of people to be able to explore the park. And then that's, you know, that's like at a national park here around Denver. We have some pretty good trails, and I could see, for example, I even made the argument of like, I wouldn't want to bike to work when I had to go to work, to an office. I wouldn't want to bike to an office, get all sweaty in the morning, and then have to like work. But I wouldn't mind, you know, sweating on the way home. So an electric assist, I might use that a lot on the way to work, and then, you know, not use as much on the way home. So I think it's, you know, it's going to give people a lot of flexibility and hopefully get more cars off the road, because really, if you think about it, you know, you have gas cars, well, you have like diesel cars, gas cars, then you have EVs that are way better. But then even better than that would be bicycles, whether it's electric assist or just regular. So
And there's a cool channel called Not Just Bikes that's all about bikeable cities and city planning and stuff like that. I think there's really amazing potential for that, like you said, for helping people just transport themselves without necessarily getting drenched with sweat. And
yeah,
it's not necessarily a sport activity, like you want to move yourself. But Stephen, Patrick and I, we used to bike with Team in Training, and it was like long rides and everything. And I would try keep up with him on my trike, and it was incredibly hard work. And I was always like so far behind. I would take an hour or two longer than him. But the electric assist really made the biggest difference, and it just sort of evened the scales so that with my handicap, basically, I could even out and actually keep up with Patrick. Sometimes I can show off and totally overtake him, which is really
yeah,
fun. But I think that's something that it's amazing for, as well as for the general public, but to help you be able to bike and have a great time safely and keep up with everyone else is pretty awesome. And the one that we have is called the Bionics, and it is no longer available, is it?
yeah. They went bankrupt, unfortunately. So, and I'm going to try to find something that I think would be fun to share.
Okay.
Is
I'm
bear with me 1 second.
not sure what he's doing, and I can't tell if you can see. No, that can't. Oh,
Oh, hey,
Hi.
hey.
hey. Oh,
Thanks for jumping in the back seat
Yeah,
with
we're-
us. We really love
think
making
you
this
can hear it. If
content
you
for
can't
you
hear it,
guys,
then
and we
let us
love
know.
advocating and educating about electric vehicles.
For sure.
On that note, we want to keep making this content and we want to keep getting better. And you can help us by joining our brand new Patreon that we just launched. And you get some benefits and perks out of that too.
So if people don't support you on Patreon, you're gonna stop making videos?
No, we're going to keep making them, of course. We love doing this.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to try to get better at it? No, we're still going to try to get better, but it could just be easier if we had a little bit of support.
Okay, so what do we get?
Depending on the level that you sign up for, it can be quite a few things. Patreon only post, it could be behind the scenes footage and photos, access to our library of over 200 wallpapers for your phone, laptop, whatever. And we may do shout outs in YouTube videos for you. And who knows, there may be even some trinkets that we will send out.
Like a pony?
No, not a pony.
Gift certificates?
No, like a postcard from the road or stickers or something.
But people can still just watch your videos for free on YouTube, right?
Yeah, of course they can. Just hopefully they like subscribe and like the video. That's free. And of course, always share it with your friends and Facebook groups and all that other good stuff.
Maybe. Drive the car.
Hopefully you can hear the sound for that.
Liv came up with that idea based off of a YouTuber that we saw.
Climate Town.
Climate Town. So yeah, we launched a Patreon, and she was like, we got to come up with something fun to really announce it, and I thought it came out great.
I think we had a lot of fun filming it, at least, and it cracks us up. So thank you,
Yeah.
Stephen. I'm glad you like it.
It was weird filming it because it was like back and forth in the video, but of course, it was ourselves, and we filmed it on different days. So it was like trying to remember, like, who were we looking at, and
we had a document written down, like, this is exactly what you're supposed to do, and
yeah,
that's really fun. Someone, I think it might have been Larry, even, I'm not sure. Someone called them the backseat drivers, and said that they should have a recurring role. I think that's kind of funny.
we could try that.
That would be funny.
We're, and part of the reason that we did the Patreon is, we bought new laptops so we can edit faster, because our old laptops were issues, and trying to buy new microphones. We got these that are sort of okay, but
somewhat not.
So we're looking at all this new stuff, and the web hosting. I've been dumping a lot of time and effort into Mach-E.org. Let's see if I can. There we go. And it's the web hosting and stuff isn't that expensive. I'm just putting a lot of time into this, as well as the software licenses and things like that. But hopefully you guys are joining Mach-E.org and spreading the word. Trying to make it so that there's a good club directory for the all the Mach-E owners that are out there. Did I click on it? I didn't think I clicked on it. There we go. And we're getting clubs throughout the U.S. Oh yeah, there's Buck Sport.
Steven.
Yeah, Steven's group.
Yeah.
So we got 6. There should be 50 of them. Hopefully we get a lot more clubs added. And I think one of the great things, as we get to warmer months, there's going to be a lot more opportunities to take the Mach-E's out, gather, hang out. And I didn't think it would be, I wasn't sure if it would be fun or not, but we've had a blast doing our meetups, just hanging out with the Mach-E owners, and we share stories about people gawking at the car or trying to race the car or whatever. One thing that's coming up across the U.S. is Drive Electric Earth Day events. All throughout the month of April, there's a ton of events, and
EV movie night.
Yeah, that looks cool. That looks like it's a online event.
Oh.
So anyways, but yeah, you can look up your city and see if there are any that are convenient to you. We're going to try to hit a couple of these, I believe. There's one in Lakewood, Colorado on the 23rd that we're going to try to hit. And then I believe there's one in Golden that's earlier in the month. Yeah, on April 2nd.
Though that's the one that we got rear-ended. We were going to that event last year, and that's where we got rear-ended. So I'm like, we're not going on the highway. We're not driving the same.
That's why I haven't registered for that one.
I think we should go though. It'd be really fun.
Yeah. So basically, you just register to attend. It's very easy, and what they're looking for is they're trying to figure out like what cars are actually going to show up. So like for this one here in Golden on April 2nd, there's no Mach-E registered. Pulsar 2, that'll be cool. A Leaf, an EV conversion. I'm going to see what that is.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, we'll probably register for that. We've already registered for the one in Lakewood. Encourage you to find those, and then maybe that'd be a great way for you to find other Mach-E owners, and then you can sort of create like a local club or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to come up with some creative stuff in the summer, because like one of the things that we want to do, there's a lot of scenic drives here in Colorado, so maybe meet up in the morning for coffee and then go for like a 2 or 3 hour drive or an hour drive up into the mountains of Colorado, stop and get some really good photos, and then finish up with a burger or something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. There was one that we almost went to in Albuquerque last year. It was a poker run. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the idea was you have like 5 different clues, and then you have to go to figure out where you're going. I'm not sure if it was clues or if they actually just told you, but they gave you a map, and then you like had to navigate your way. And then at each stop, you would collect a new card, and then when you got your 5 cards, that was your poker hand, and then whoever had the best poker hand at the end of the day won a little prize or something like
Which
that.
we've actually done on bikes, not in cars.
Bikes and running
and
and
we
walking.
won.
Yes, we won twice. Yeah, our gym held one a couple of, or actually multiple years, and we won.
I think that would be
twice.
a really fun thing to do in EVs. Also, like fundraising things could be fun, like Frunken fundraise. I don't know.
Fundraiser.
Fundraiser. That'd be fun. That sounds like a Halloween thing.
Yeah.
Fundraiser.
So yeah, if you guys have any creative ideas, you know, we're just learning what we're doing with all of this stuff. But if you have any creative ideas, and we'll steal them if you.
Check them. No, but it's been really great being a part of the EV community as well. Like Drive Electric and Drive Electric Colorado, we got registered as coaches there, and they did a little training thing. And I think that like one of the things that really stood out as extra fun last year was just hanging out at a farmer's market with a bunch of other EV owners. And I don't think we really did a video on it or anything like that.
That one, no.
It was in a little bit of that EV wash video, but we just got to hang out at a farmer's market, talk to people about electric vehicles. There was someone with a Tesla, someone else with a Leaf, and it was a lovely environment and just a nice excuse to hang out in the sunshine and pick up some vegetables for the frunk on the way home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did. Colorado Springs had their 150th anniversary. There was a solar event. Centennial had their 20th anniversary.
And I have a little clip from that that's going to go on Patreon soon. By the way, it's been really fun launching Patreon. Very scary, but don't feel like you have to join on Patreon. We appreciate you being here. And ultimately, watching the videos is the biggest thing. Watching, liking, subscribing, all that stuff. It's the biggest thing, and it's the free thing. So don't feel like you have to contribute to Patreon. And we're having an amazing time doing this.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun, and we have ideas for videos. Some are going to be more exciting than others. We're going to do some like EV app reviews, like PlugShare and a better route planner. Do some more tutorials. I got one on one pedal driving that seems to intimidate a lot of people, and I'm by no means an expert, but I figured I would share my tips on how I think it's easiest to learn one pedal driving. We are planning on going to the New York Auto Show in April, as well as
the drive
Fully Charged Live North America in San Diego in September. We're still waiting because the New York Auto Show, I guess, we're new to all of this, but we're trying to get media credentials like we got for the LA Auto Show, which is we got the first time. But for us, like we have full-time jobs, so we've asked for the time off. We've booked flights, made hotel reservations, trying to keep our costs down. And I've emailed the New York Auto Show twice, and I'm like, oh, when are you guys doing press credentials? How do we get press credentials? Can we get press credentials? And I just get an automated thing, and it's like, we'll get to that, And the same thing happened with the LA Auto Show. It wasn't until about 3 weeks before that they opened it up. And I guess like if you're a full-time media professional, you can wait. But I'm like, we got real lives. We got to plan around.
We've burned a lot of time off on this stuff, but we're having a great time. I'm really glad we got to go to the LA Auto Show as media, just because you can, like we did, interview some of the manufacturers, Electrify America, EVgo. You sort of get more behind the scenes stuff, and then you can be extra annoying and take lots of video, like really obnoxiously, without getting in people's way. Because when it's not media days, people actually want to look at the cars, and when it's media days, just everyone is filming stuff and 90% of the time talking about it.
We had no idea what to expect as media. It wasn't like they rolled out the red carpets and gave us champagne. I think we got a free breakfast the first day or something like that. But really for us, it was just great having the opportunity to see the cars and get up close without the huge crowds that ended up coming on the weekends. So.
And people were willing and like there to talk to us, because I think we were both just like, hey, hi, can we talk to you? You know, but everyone was expecting that. They're like, yeah, let's get you on the schedule. And we were like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
official.
So
Cool.
we learned a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, again, this is part of, you know, the Patreon thing. We are trying to get better at doing this. Hopefully our next auto show will be better, and we'll learn how to film better. These microphones, for example, as like I said, we may even upgrade these, but that's one of the things we learned is like these did great at the auto show, and we just got to suck it up and wear them the whole day and have batteries. We have so many
Gosh, that's
batteries.
weird.
It's crazy. So
And Rick said he just went to an EV event in Maryland. I think that, oh yeah. That sounds super fun. How did people receive the Mach-E? I'd be interested to know.
and I know Chasing Coral
Is
on
he in the
Mach-E
area?
Forum. He's in Maryland, and he's done a couple of brewery things in February with his Mach-E. He has a Grabber Blue First Edition as well. So yeah, I'd be interested to see like you know, what is the reception. So by the way, like we've taken the Mach-E to some EV only events as well as just car events, and of course it was very early on, and but so far the reception of the Mach-E has been overwhelmingly positive. The most negative comments we got was at the Colorado Springs event, and we included that in the video. There were quite a few not a Mustang people.
Yeah.
Some that were like, oh, we'll never do EV, that type of thing. But the it's not a Mustang thing. Generally, my best response I figured out is just to ask, well, what Mustang do you drive? And most of the time they don't own a Mustang. They've never owned a Mustang. So, you know,
See, and Rick, he said there was a lady who hadn't seen one yet. I think
yeah,
that's so fun because oftentimes we've gotten people like you'll get people to do a double take or who just beeline for it and they're like, wow,
yeah,
in person for real. And I mean, granted, we were doing this last summer when it was newer, so it'll be interesting to see how this summer is. But it's fun, and then other people are excited about your exciting car, and then you get to
yeah.
talk about how excited you are. And
Even a couple of weeks ago when we were filming over at the old Lowry Air Force Base, we were just parked, and normally we're like jump out and talk to people as much as possible, but we were trying to film and we had a lot of stuff to get in that day. But we saw a group of young men that were like, that's that new Mustang, and slowly
yeah.
walking by it, and I'm like, I really want to jump out and explain and talk and everything, but we had to just sort of keep focused on what we
Well,
were
we
doing.
were doing the Patreon filming, so we could
Yeah, that's right.
reset the scene kind of
That's
thing,
right,
or we
yeah.
would have. We're like, oh.
I was trying to remember why, because normally I just
We had to stay in the same spots exactly. The ID buzz. I mean, are you excited?
I am. There's some stuff trickling out about the ID buzz, and if you haven't seen it, I'll try to bring it up now. Almost everybody's seen the ID buzz, I think. But they're going to launch that on March 8th, and I'll go through some of the photos here. So that's some of the concept art, the orange one and the yellow one. And then this is like in camouflage. People have seen it out on the street though, and that's what they've seen on the street. So it looks way less appealing, but I think, you know, if you take that same shot and then add some Photoshop to it, better wheels, and the two color paint scheme, it looks pretty nice. Is that let's see. I don't know what that's from, but so anyways, they're going to announce that. I'm interested in, you know, what the range is, the pricing is, and what they're going to bring over to the U.S. VW has not always brought over the most exciting stuff over to the U.S., but I think they know over here in the U.S. we want, you know, we want that. So hopefully they'll bring over a good version
that
over
exact
here.
coloring.
Yeah,
So cute. E for Electric, he's set to get one, isn't he? He's sponsored by them.
I'm not sure. I know he's going to be there for the launch. It's March 8th. I think it's in Austin at South by Southwest, which is this coming week, and we're going to be getting ready to go out of town. So that's not going to happen. but I am very curious on, you know, what the specs are actually going to be, and nothing has been really officially released just yet. Got another question here. So for that software update that gives you the better charging curve, and I have a video that I did on the new charging curve. I did a 10 to 97%. At 80%, it normally drops down to about 11 kilowatts. It stayed at 43 all the way to about 95%. Then it dropped down to, I think, 28 or something like that. So way better charging curve above 80%. The way that I got it, my car was in for a brake issue. They had some bad brake pads on some of the earlier Mach-E's. So when they replaced those, I asked if they could do that software update, and they did. Now, so first of all, it has to be dealer installed at this time. They may do an OTA. I'm assuming they'll do an OTA at some point. But for right now, it has to be done by the dealer, and it's only on what they call Job 1 cars. And that means cars that were built from October 2020 to June 2021. So if your car was built after that, they won't do it. It has to be built before that. And you can't just go in and say, can you do the update? Your car has to be in for some other service. So, but what you can do is sort of like try to finagle that with the dealer. And if you have, and it depends on the dealer, like, and how busy they are. So like mine was having the brake work done. So they're like, yeah, it's no big deal. And you can mention the charging curve update, but they don't see that as it must be done. And what that is Ford, in their official way that they compensate dealers for doing warranty work, is it'll say, like, can this be the primary reason? Like my brakes, that was a reason for me to bring the car in. They'll do that. This is not an urgent matter. So the idea is, like, if it's in for something else, they can bill Ford for the time. The dealer can bill Ford for the time and get compensated for that. But if you just bring it in and they do that and they bill Ford, Ford's not going to cover the 2 hours or so to get the update done. But hopefully everybody will get it via OTA at some point. I'm in the early access program right now. There's a bunch of updates coming out that should result in Blue Cruise at the end of this. Fingers crossed. Not sure if that's going to be by the end of March or early April or something like that. Supposedly there's going to be like a series of 6 updates that we're going to get. And it's just, supposedly one right after the other almost. But who knows? Who knows what their actual timing schedule. I'm in the early access program that I got in last year. So hopefully that means that, they've already tested things, but I will get it the second wave, and that everything will be fine. And then I can test out Blue Cruise and do a video on it. We tested it out when we were in California, and I thought it was great served its purpose, and excited to try it on our car on roads that we know around here, specifically like some curvy freeways, and see how it handles that. We'll take it up into the mountains and see how it handles some of the curves there. It doesn't, the misconception is that it, if it gets to a curve with Blue Cruise and doesn't like the curve, it'll just cancel. That's not what it does. It doesn't cancel. What it does is says, hey, just put your hands on the steering wheel. So Blue Cruise is still on, basically. It's still handling it. But the idea is, like, if you're doing 65 miles an hour on a curve, and for whatever reason, if it loses the curve or whatever, if your hands aren't on the steering wheel and you're, taking a drink or whatever, your reaction time is going to be too slow to grab the steering wheel. So it's not canceling. It's just saying, put your hands on the steering wheel in case something goes wrong, which is what we have now with just intelligent cruise control. Between here and San Diego, like the road trip we did last year, I could see it would probably be like, 95% of the trip could be in Blue Cruise. So
I think we have to do it again then.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, yeah. If you guys have any suggestions for road trips and stuff like that we should do, so we can burn more of our time off on car stuff.
Yeah, the 2-week trip to South Africa is going to eat into most of our time off. So now we're going to have to just do some weekend trips, which is another reason why we'll probably hit around Colorado. There's Trail Ridge Road that I think will be very nice. We want to do Mount Evans again, Pikes Peak for the first time with the Mach-E.
Moab, sand dunes.
Moab
My
sand
one-day
dunes.
adventure.
There's a road that's called $1 Million Highway that's beautiful that we want to take everybody on. And in addition to just showing the beautiful scenery, we want to show like some of the charging options that are way out there. To get to sand dunes, it's a bit off the freeway. So then the question is like you're right in the middle of, you'll probably be like 45% battery. I was like, so do you head back to the freeway or do you continue on to, I think it's Alamosa is the next charging station, and then we could go explore some more. So we got some planning to do to see what road trips. But if there's anything Colorado you want us to check out, let us know. We thought about the North American Auto Show, Detroit Auto Show. I think it's in September as well. Might
I
be
think we
August.
have that. No, it's September because the weekend after.
Yeah.
My dream is that we can do the fully charged in San Diego, then go to the Detroit Auto
Yeah.
Show.
So we thought about, because we won't have time off, like, is it possible for us to drive to Detroit on the weekend,
Work
work
there.
from the hotel room or Airbnb during the week, and then, you know, get off early or whatever, take a half day like on a Wednesday and do the auto show that day. So it's hard. We're trying to, you know, deal with our normal jobs and still get some trips in and still film stuff. But we have a lot of weekends, so we're gonna film a lot on weekends.
Yeah. And so the person that you were answering their question, they said theirs was built in November. So do
Yeah.
they have to wait for an over there?
If it was November 2020, you can get it done. If it's November 2021, you have to wait for an OTA, or until Ford changes the program. So if you, and a lot of the people that are eligible also have the glass recall for the windshield. So that would qualify for getting this other update done. We haven't got our glass roof or windshield done yet. Our local Ford dealer is not equipped, and just haven't inquired to see if 2021 GT. But we haven't inquired again. They recommended that we take it to a larger dealer that's in the area, and I'll do that when I have time. Part of it is if anything happens to the glass roof or the windshield, they have to order a replacement. That can take a couple of weeks, and there hasn't been a couple of weeks where I'd be okay without having the car. I wish I could do it right before we went to South Africa. But the on the flip side is like they could be done in like 2 days, you know.
Yeah, and then we'd have to get it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
So we'll probably wait. We're going to be doing a small local move in April/May, so we may put the car in then. And then,
yeah, we're gonna be moving locally, like Patrick said, and we're not gonna have home charging anymore.
At least not at first, until
at
we
least
decide.
not at first. So that's gonna open up a whole other interesting chunk of things.
Yeah, right now we have the ChargePoint Home Flex.
Awesome.
I love it. I did a video on that. I think I'm going to do an update video. It's been super great. If you look for the home charging video that we did on the channel, I really liked it. One of the most common questions is like, why didn't I just go with the Ford charger that comes with the car? I like carrying that with me, and I like having the ChargePoint. And here in Colorado, and this is something that you should check out with your local energy provider, they give us $50 a year for having a smart home charger, and they only have 2 that are approved. I can't remember the other one, but the ChargePoint Home Flex is one of them. So if we get $50 a year and we, you know, keep the car or keep the charger for many years or whatever, it's going to pay for itself. So
isn't there a discount on installation or
and
stipend?
Excel is doing something new now. They're giving $500 to install a home charger, or you can rent a ChargePoint Home Flex, and they'll install it for
$13 a month or something.
For about $13 a month, which sounds too good to be true. I think it's it may be you're responsible for getting the outlet, but they'll put it in for you, and then $13 a month, which isn't bad. Like a lot of people rent their home modems for $12 a month, and that thing only costs $120, so that's not great.
Yeah.
But on something that costs $600, that's a lot of months before you would end up with the equivalent amount out of pocket. So that's something to consider. Check your local energy company. I was going to work on a video. I might do it this afternoon, talking about the federal tax credit, local or state tax credits, local credits, and then on the charging side, there's the 30% tax credit if you installed it last year. They did. I don't think they renewed it this year. I got to double check that. I know I wrote it down, but for doing the home charging station install, but there's also other rebates. Like Colorado has a $2,500 rebate this year, not rebate, tax credit.
And they also have assistance for buying used EVs if you're in a certain economic bracket. So
Mm-hmm.
there's, and we might do some videos on that, especially for Excel stuff, if you're in the Colorado area. But definitely look up in your local area what assistance there is, because I think everything is pushing us towards it, and they're trying to help us.
Yeah.
Various entities.
Yeah. Well, I think we're about to wrap up. I'll highlight this. Alex Guberman, he's E4 Electric, and he drives an ID4. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should. He's been great. Like, we met him out at the LA Auto Show. He does live streams like this, which is one of the reasons we got the idea to do this. But very, very friendly guy. And he's driving ID4. He used to drive a Tesla. He got like a lot of heat for that. But I like watching his videos. He covers the news every week.
He's very witty.
Yeah, he's very witty. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is in Sacramento
Sacramento,
full time
yeah.
now, which is one of the places that's on our possibilities list. So who knows? Maybe we'll be out there with him or somewhere else. We don't know.
Somewhere. Yeah, and he I think he's sponsored by VW, but he got the ID4 before that.
Yeah. There, he got some criticism for that as well, which is understandable. We try not to do anything that would be unethical, at least for us.
I mean, we're teensy weensy, so it's not like we're getting
Yeah.
much, but we do appreciate being able to receive accessories and stuff, and we would gladly buy that stuff too. But that's also why we want to pass it along to you guys. If it's not something we need or something we have in excess of, we want to give you the opportunity to get it. So like the dog seat cover thing, we're going to pay for shipping it. And
Yeah. And we don't want to be a certain stockholder or get some type of financial compensation. And nobody's flying us out to like the New York Auto Show or anything like that. Although I would not turn down apparently, like what happens for a lot of YouTubers, they'll get flown to see like the launch of the F-150 Lightning. And then the ethical thing to do is to say that in your video, but still do an unbiased video, blah, 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 blah. That being said, if Ford wants to like fly us out for the F-150 Lightning, we'll make that happen. I would love it. But to be honest, it's like, I don't care as much about the launches and that type of thing. I would just love to get an F-150 Lightning here in Colorado. We have like the perfect use tests for it, I think. And we've talked about this previously, is like leave our house charged at 100%, drive to our friend's cabin that's off grid. It's about 100 miles away. Stay there for a couple of nights, power stuff off of the F-150 Lightning. There's a charger in the town. The nearest town is like 15 miles away down a dirt road. And then charge up and then head home.
And she's working on her cabin. Like, she's been doing construction there. Like, we could actually do some construction there with the F-150 Lightning.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
I think it would be a perfect use case. So I think Ford needs to
send us one to test it out.
Yeah, send us a Lightning here. And I'm not biased. I'll take a Silverado, a Rivian, and a Cybertruck. I'll take them all. We'll do the same comparison on all of them if they want to send them out. It probably won't fit in our garage.
No, most certainly not.
But
Mach-E barely fits.
Well, we're getting close to the hour. I think that's a good amount of time. Hopefully we'll continue to do this. I'm having fun doing these. We can invite some guests on.
Ooh, yeah.
And do some interviews with some other EV YouTubers. It would be great to get maybe somebody from a charging company or one of the manufacturers to come talk about their cars.
I'd really like to talk with Lacey from Misco Electric and Ryan from the Kilowatts about their adventure charge across America. We won't spoil it, but if you don't know what happened, you should look it up.
Yeah.
They did a great EV race and adventure. So I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, we're small potatoes, but we want to reach out and grow and all that good stuff. So thanks for staying tuned for this whole thing. You know, you guys are obviously the select few that are subscribed and have the notification bell and made time for an hour
Which we really
rambling
appreciate. Thank
video.
you.
We like to talk, so
Yeah.
and we like making the videos. So we're going to, you know, thanks for all. We love getting the comments. We get some
Thank
negative
you.
comments. We don't mind those because it helps us get better.
Yeah.
But we love the positive comments because it just makes us feel good after spending, I think, like the year-long review video of the year review video. That was hours and hours of editing because we had some audio issues
And filming.
and filming.
Yeah, we really do welcome critique and criticism and input from you guys, because this is fun and a hobby for us, and we want you to enjoy it too. And we want to create good content. Like Patrick mentioned, the 1 year video is something that we really wanted to do with that was make it more dynamic. And we made sure to film it in lots of different locations. And if we were talking about a certain thing, take the car to a new location that really showcased that. So we're trying to get better at this stuff. And yeah, we want you to feel like you can contribute and tell us if you don't like something or if you do like it or whatever. We won't be upset.
And if you're ever looking for stuff and you can't remember, we're going to try to keep this populated, machevlog.com/links. And I'll add stuff there pertinent to like the latest video and whatnot. I'll try to keep that updated. But it's also a good reminder, if you're looking for us online, we have, you know, YouTube, of course, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have a Discord server, which actually I need to launch that again. I always forget about it, but anyways. And that last one is a TikTok. I had to go look that up again.
Oh, I was gonna ask, like, does anyone like TikTok? Do you want us to TikTok? It sounds super unhip. Should we do a TikTok?
and we're going to tweet her.
Yeah, should we tweet her? He tweeters.
I'm
take
on Twitter a
photos of
lot.
things.
I love getting into battles with
You're a
Tesla
twit.
people, but it's fun. So we're very active on Twitter. When we're actually out filming and stuff, we'll post a lot on Instagram.
And I really like making shirts and art and stuff. So this is something I really enjoy doing. So if you guys ever want to see a certain kind of shirt or garment or sticker or whatever, and you have a cool idea that you want to come to life, feel free to let us know, and maybe I'll do it. Like I don't know if the shirt has sold much, but I really like it. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just do that stuff for fun.
And that's, speaking of links, it's there.
T-shirts
T-shirt.
and more.
T-shirts and more. We got a bunch of stuff. We have accessories and stuff out now that we're not making, but they're available.
I like the stickers because then you can have Mach-E stuff. Which way am I turning? On your water bottles, which I really like. That one.
Mine are stealth.
You are so boring.
All right. Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for the 7 of you that stuck around to the end. If you have any, more follow-up, drop more comments in the comment section or shoot us an email or Twitter us.
Tweet us.
And then you got to finish with your thing and I'll get it right one of these days.
To just remember that whatever you drive, this is what you say.
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. Thank you. Bye.